Right now, gaming on smartphones is more popular than ever. There are phones being made specifically for gaming, from the Razer phone to the Asus ROG phone. This is becoming more and more of a real thing. But is gaming on smartphones actually viable right now? And will it ever become a true alternative to consoles? Hey, how's it going? I'm Josh from 91 Tech, and today we're going to be talking about something a bit different. Will gaming on smartphones ever actually be good? I'm not someone who would consider myself a true gamer per se. I'll play a game here and there, but I haven't really dedicated a lot of my time to it since around late 2016 when I was hooked to Overwatch before the toxicity drove me away. That said, I do still pay attention to the whole gaming world, and given that I know smartphones pretty well, I wanted to combine the two today in a video. But first, speaking of games on smartphones, this video has been sponsored by Era of Celestials. Era of Celestials is a free mobile game based around PvP multiplayer with some amazing graphics. This is a game that has it all: a great storyline, great PvP, and stunning visuals. You can blaze a trail through the path of the Vanquisher and hunt down the bosses to receive the ultimate and best equipment and crafting materials. This legitimately is a fun game, and downloading it helps out the channel a lot. If you get it and use the code Celestials in game, you will get a bonus package worth $15 with a whole bunch of awesome resources. Huge thanks to Era of Celestials for sponsoring this video, and make sure you go check out the game to support the channel by downloading it using the link at the top of the description below. Alright, and with that, let's get right into discussing the viability of gaming on smartphones. And before we talk about the present or the future, I think we should talk about how things have led to where we are now. Rewinding back to 2010, 2011, 2012, games were a lot more simple. You had a lot of 2D games like Candy Crush and Angry Birds, remember those? There were some 3D games too, like Temple Run, and before long you had the giant that was Clash of Clans, where microtransactions started to take over the industry. Mobile gaming slowly became bigger and bigger until it was the most popular way to play games, and that's something that is still the case today. Over 50% of the gaming market share is in phones. Where we are today actually isn't that much different than 5 years ago. We have much more powerful hardware, but the most popular games typically are just ad-ridden 2D apps that don't push the envelope in any way. There have been some great games in the past that really have brought mobile gaming forward, such as games with amazing graphics for the time like Asphalt 8, but for the most part, mobile games just feel like a completely different genre from, say, console games. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does make you wonder where things are gonna go from here. To be fair, 2018 has probably been the best year in a very long time for progressing mobile gaming, with both Fortnite and PUBG coming to phones. Something that's actually pretty insane. It's awesome, but it begs the question, why play these games on your phone if you could play it on your computer or console? It might be nice when you're away from home, but otherwise there isn't much reason, at least not yet. The games are fun and they work really well on phones, but they work better on your console or your PC, so why even use your phone? We are now to the point where some Android smartphone manufacturers are purposely making phones for gaming. The most popular and mainstream is the Razer phone, but there are other more dedicated phones too, like the Asus ROG phone. These phones are developed to make gaming on mobile a better experience, but in all honesty, they don't actually have too much of a leg up on the competition. The best thing about them is that they have 120 Hz screens, meaning that you can see up to 120 frames per second on your phone as opposed to only 60. The iPad Pro also has this, and it's something you need to try in person to kind of understand. It makes your phone feel buttery smooth, and it's an amazing feature. They also typically have much better speakers too, which is nice, but I think most people use headphones anyway, so I don't see that being too majorly important. However, other than that, there isn't much differentiation from other cheaper Android phones. And with options like the OnePlus 6T, I really don't know why you'd go out and buy, say, the Razer phone too. Sure, you're missing out on 120 Hz, but you're getting an OLED screen that will look better, have thinner bezels, a likely better camera, and all of the same basic hardware. The OnePlus 6T is easily the best value Android phone on the market right now, sharing everything with the Note 9 in terms of power, but being only a bit over half the price. I at the moment don't think there's any point in buying a gaming specific phone when almost any other phone can do pretty much everything everything just as good, except for I guess 120 hertz. I think Razer knows this, and that's why the Razer Phone 2 isn't quite as gamer oriented in marketing as the first one was. It still looks pretty beastly with those massive bezels for the speakers, but it did add a few things for the more average person instead of just the gamer, like wireless charging and water resistance. They also focused a lot on the camera, something that, I mean, if you just want a dedicated gaming phone, shouldn't be that important. I think one of the biggest issues, as is right now for big console-like games on phones, is that controls are just awkward and bad. Fortnite, for example, is hard to play on mobile. And honestly, I don't understand how people are able to do this and actually be good at it. Mind you, it doesn't help that I apparently just suck, and if I really put some time into this, I would get better at it. But a controller would make this way easier, and at that point I might as well just move over to the Xbox or something. You can get accessories to make life a little easier, but again, why? Why would you pay money for something like this when you can just play on a console that you already own? There are two valid answers as to why you need games on your smartphone, or big games anyway. If you're away from home and need something portable, or you don't actually have a console or PC capable of playing games. But there are inherent flaws in both of these reasonings. For the second one, as in you don't have a PC or console capable of games, just go buy an Xbox One S. Obviously not everyone has the money to do so, but on Black Friday the Xbox One S was going for $200 with Minecraft. That's insanely low, and it's probably cheaper than whatever phone you have in your pocket. If you're younger and you really can't afford an Xbox, just save up for a little bit, birthday money, that kind of thing. They've never been cheaper, and they're great hardware, and it's gonna be way better than playing video games on your phone. Now, portability, on the other hand, is a better argument. While the Nintendo Switch is a thing, it's quite a bit more expensive than, say, the Xbox One S or the PS4 Slim, and if you already have a home console, you might not want to go out and buy another one. That said, in what situation do you actually have to be playing console quality games? This is another thing I don't really get. Personally, if I'm in a car or whatever and bored, I can stay entertained for at least quite a while just fooling around with some puzzle games or whatever, and it's better from battery life too. Now, everyone has different tastes, and I know we're in the age that you need to be constantly entertained at all times of the day, but I find it hard to believe that you can't save Fortnite for home. Battery life is another problem with mobile gaming. 3D games especially absolutely kill the battery in most smartphones, and it'll probably be your worst enemy if you're super serious about gaming on your phone. Okay, let's take a breath and take a step back for a second here. I'm not just blasting gaming on smartphones for the sake of blasting them. I think it's insanely impressive that we've gotten to the point that a game like Fortnite can run on a phone and actually run really well. I'm just saying that while people always look towards the future of smartphone gaming as being on the same playing field as the Xbox or PS4, I personally am questioning that approach. Why? Why do we need to get to that point? Why can't mobile gaming and regular console gaming be two different genres altogether, basically like they are right now? I don't necessarily mind the merging of things if it's done right, but at the moment I don't think it has been done right. Fortnite and PUBG are definitely the closest we've gotten, but other than that, I can't really think of any good console quality games on mobile, except for maybe some older ones from the early 2000s or whatever. I don't think phones need to be at the point where they can play real games like, say, Call of Duty. I think at the end of the day, it just makes more sense to sit on your couch and look at your TV and play with a controller, rather than being hunched over trying to play on your tiny little phone. Things like AirPlay and Chromecast could eventually change this, and as hardware continues to get better and better in phones, we might get to the point where you could legitimately run games on your phone, and I think that would make more sense. And it could very well happen eventually, but I think we're quite a ways from that. And you know what? At the moment, I think mobile gaming is in a good place. This video is feeling a little scattered, maybe, at least to me, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that mobile gaming, despite the rate of improvement and the power of smartphones, especially with Apple's chipsets right now, probably never will match the full experience of a console, but I don't think they need to. Where the most potential lies for this, in my opinion, is in Apple's iPad Pro. It's got a huge 120 Hz display and has the most power of any mobile device out there. The iPad has the potential to play high quality console games within the next 5 years. Because of its large display, it would kind of make sense. Theoretically, the iPad Pro could eventually become a valid competitor to the Switch, and while I'm not sure if that's actually ever going to happen, it could, because this is a great product and one I could see making sense for games. Phones, I think, are just too small at the moment, and I don't think that's going to change. A Alright, with that being said, I think I'm pretty much done here. Gaming on smartphones is something very interesting for me. It isn't to the point of consoles, but it isn't really as basic as it used to be. It seems to be in a strange middle ground right now, but I think that's okay, and I don't think we need to get to the point of consoles, but instead get to the point where we get the best mobile games we've ever had. And right now, we're making progress towards that. But what do you think? Is gaming on smartphones or mobile gaming in general ever going to get to console levels, or will they always be in that awkward middle ground? Make sure you comment your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed this video or found it interesting, maybe hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content just like this. Don't forget to check out Era of Celestial's link at the top of the description. Please consider downloading it and giving it a shot. It's free, and you downloading it actually really does help out the channel. So thank you for that. If you want some more tech in your life, you can follow me over on Twitter and Instagram at 91_tech. And with that all being said, I'm Josh from 91tech, and I will see you all next time.